Today we're playing one of the craziest and most detailed F1 game mods ever created. This is the F1 98-07 Ultimate Career mod. Spanning 9 different seasons you can install one at a time with all their different cars, liveries, team attire, etc. and its own built-in driver transfer kind of story arc from 1999 to 2007, and this is all on the F1 2020 game. So as you can maybe tell just from the sound of that, it's a very incredibly intricate mod made by the Gekai modding team, who obviously have made some previous retro season mods for this game before. I'll leave a link down below. It is a paid mod, but it's been worked on for 2 years in total, many hours, and you'll see why, because the length that the team has gone to create all of this is insane. In this video, we're going to be doing a couple of races from a few different seasons from 98 to 07, and basically kind of giving you the best preview I can of the entire mod without giving everything away. And to be honest, I think it deserves maybe in the future mini-series or just a bigger video to really get into it. So this is more just a little preview and taster of what you can expect if you were to get this mod, but I think it'll do hopefully a pretty good job of showing you of how insane the gameplay is. Starting here with the 1998 season with all the different cars, and also each season has also a retro F1 intro, which is a nice throwback as well. So here we are then, it's the 1998 Australian Grand Prix Down Under, and it's pretty epic to see the West McLaren Mercedes car in action, and a whole grid of, I mean, every single season's like this. It's just insane to have like a whole grid of the classic cars this classic season. And you can see customized heads-up display also on the bottom right with the rev counters as well. And yeah, every team, they've got the, as accurate as can be, the liveries within the confines of what's possible with the car models that are available in modding in this game. But all the teams have, all the team wear and everything like that for the podiums, for the drivers, etc. as well. And then each driver has their actual helmets and such. But like I mentioned, with this mod, there's kind of its own story with the driver transfers and the market, because it is obviously it's a career mode mod. It's not just a game mod. It's more of a career mode mod, season to season, having that change and difference, not only with the cars, but then also where drivers end up. So there's it's basically an alternative F1 universe that's been created with this mod, which obviously you guys know for me is absolutely awesome, because that's exactly the vibe I like to do with my own career modes on like the individual F1 games, but this is with different seasons in one mod basically. But yeah, just showing you all the different onboards, and I'll be doing this with each of the seasons. We're going to kind of preview through, just showing you the different onboards to just show the very strikingly different and unique in some aspects liveries from the past. I always think some of these some of the retro liveries, with the car shapes, but also just, I don't know, the vibe of designing back then was very different, and you got some really cool, unique, and just pretty slick designs, but also some bonkers ones and funny ones as well. But that is a lap then of the 1998 Australian Grand Prix, and like I said, driver suits and helmets to match. David Coulthard going on to win that one, as I just retired to show you the podium sequences. But like I said, here's all the different team wear for McLaren West, and then also even the podiums is accurate. But just look at that. That's so sick. That's as close as you're going to get to like a like a modern version of the 1998 F1. If you had like an F1 game from 98, this is the closest thing you're going to get to a modern version, which is high fidelity graphics, etc. We now move into just showing you the cars from the next years. So this is 99, and then the next set's going to be 2000. So with this mod, you really get a nice also look at the evolution of the F1 teams and the cars themselves, with slight model changes as we go on through the years. And as always, a different intro as well to kick off the race. So the year is 2000 then, and we're in the very strikingly coloured Minardi, although to be fair, the colours are kind of almost on brand with the Quadrant Fluoro in a way, as we get underway for the Spanish Grand Prix this time, and straight away you'll see some of those differences in the driver transfers, etc., as we go on through this entire ultimate career and through the years basically, but trying to go around the outside and having quite a nice battle action. You know, one thing also I did mention is obviously the handling is very different obviously with the classic cars. You know, the cars are so much lighter, and when you play this, it's kind of unbelievable how much nicer they are to drive in slower corners. Like, you can actually really properly chuck the car around, waltz it around the outside, and you know, when you move, it's not so cumbersome basically. And in terms of performance levels, by the way, each season the modders have tried to match as best they can, you know, the performance levels, and try and get it, you know, as close as possible. Obviously there are just limitations, and also it is just a mod, so at the end of the day things may not be one-to-one, but in my opinion, it's, you know, incredible how well they do with each of the teams, and you can see that in the races where, you know, teams are kind of petering out. Obviously AI level and AI actual racing wheel-to-wheel plays into how the races, you know, shape out. Obviously at the end of the day it's F1 2020, so the AI, you know, there's some good racing to be had, and also some weird moments to be had also on the game, so that might end up having a few surprise winners and whatever, but that's obviously part and parcel of the glory of the F1 game versus the real life results. Sometimes the game is a lot more entertaining than it is in real life, but that is, yeah, so that's we've gone now, what, 3 years already from 98. We skipped ahead to 2000. Mika Hakkinen winning in the McLaren West car. It's a double McLaren podium again, so it's a good mod for McLaren fans so far. Obviously McLaren used to be very, very strong in this era, but again, just sick to see a podium like that with the overalls. For me, it's the overalls on the backdrop like this, where it's like, oh yeah, this I feel immersed in this like retro year when you see something like this. And even with the faces, they've tried their best to, you know, fit faces to faces with what they've got available to them, and in some cases some really great artistry work to actually make the likeness of some of the drivers. But we're now flicking through a couple of more years then in this career mode mod, as we're now going to skip ahead. I believe we're going to skip ahead to the year 2003, and again the car model getting a bit more modern now as we get on through the years, and just cool to see the evolution of certain teams' liveries, and in some cases just teams completely changing their identity. And it's not only the cars that actually change, the driver ratings also change, so drivers actually improve their rating as you install each year. So we're now into the year 2003. We're driving as Mark Webber in the Jaguar right now. Towards the back of the grid is Jaguar were pretty shocking back in the day before Red Bull bought them out and then turned them into the Goliath of a team they are currently, basically. But here now at the Canadian Grand Prix of Montreal. I love that at Montreal you got all the Fosters advertisement on the outside. It's a nice colour, that blue, and the Foster's logo makes it kind of iconic on the outside of the circuit bases. We now try and go down the inside, I think of the Honda that was, and the Lucky Strike livery. But yeah, so the driver ratings also will change. Like if you go to the link to get the mod on the Patreon of the Gekai modding team, you'll see like patch notes and stuff, and basically little notes about, you know, drivers changing up ratings, and also when they become available in the driver market or won't become available in the driver market, because actually there's so many things I'm mentioning just as we go on through, but you can do driver career mode and my team career mode with this mod. That's right, you can do my team with this mod, and I'll show you right at the end. Very kindly, I have had my own My Team livery made in this mod, so you can drive with Arava Archer Racing. But now we're skipping ahead to 2005. So it's Austria now in 2005, but as you can see, we've got a very different lineup of drivers, and we've actually got my favorite driver, Jenson Button, in this worldie of a Renault, obviously in 05, was an electrically quick car on this grid. So we're down the order in the quick race, but we're going to very quickly move back. And to be honest, this era of car, this season, in this race is the best kind of showing of how lightweight and nimble these cars are. Like, as we go into this next corner, we're going to take it easy, but then we suss out a little space on the outside, a little jink to the left, quick jink, and then again, massively quick jink to the right. If I had tried that in a modern car, that would have been so slow. I would have probably hit the back of the car as trying to get around, basically. But it was so quick to move. It was actually just putting me off. It was almost like you had like a bit of like a grip, extra grip going on. But it's just because the car is so bloody light. It's incredible. And then here, the new look for the Ferraris, bit of a different look for the McLarens. And of course, now we've got Red Bull on the grid, no longer Jaguar there. And 3 wide into the final few corners. So we just managed to tap through with Button through the final corner onto the back of the Jordan team. But again, we didn't show you the podium for the last era we previewed just because it crashed on the podium. But here is the podium then for 2005 with the red and grey. I love those. Those shirts are epic for the McLaren personnel. And at this point then, all of a sudden, we're getting towards kind of more familiar territory, I guess, with Formula 1. I guess, you know, depends on, you know, those of you watching when you started to watch Formula 1 and how old you are, basically. But a bit more familiar to me, I guess, is this era of Formula 1, basically, as we go through from 2006 to 2007. And of course, we've actually already played the 07 mod from this same modding team, and it's got that epic intro. And we're now here in 2007 in the Ferrari, driving a Schumacher, the Ferrari that obviously Schumacher never actually got to drive as he was somewhat ousted in the season beforehand. But, I mean, what a combo this would have been if he was driving this Ferrari, obviously, that took Kimi Raikkonen to his World Championship. But here at Sao Paulo then, so we've had, hopefully you've appreciated the nice mix of circuits as well to see. And again, that's another thing, every single circuit has got the specific era sponsor boards as accurately as possible. So it really completely tries to immerse you in this world going from 98 to 07, just as it was in real life. The only kind of, you know, fantasy thing really is the drivers with the market and the kind of different transfers going on. But everything else is as accurate as possible. Obviously, limitations like, for instance, Binotto still being on the pit wall, because obviously some of the personnel faces you just can't swap out, or there's you know, there's just no point swapping out basically. But that white Ferrari, that's an iconic little Ferrari kit, the white ones for the personnel with the barcode for the quote-unquote Marlboro but not Marlboro sponsoring on the Ferrari. And there is Schumacher lifting the trophy, and that's going to bring us to the final year, ending out with this career mode mod, the ultimate career, 98 to 07. Guys, if you have enjoyed the video, then be sure to hit the like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below, and I implore you, if you're interested, go check it out. It's worth the small payment because so much work's gone into it. It's an insane mod if you own F1 2020 on PC. And let me know in the future, would you like me to do like a mini series where you play through with this? Let me know. But I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.